Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Happy Monday. How we doing? Hey, Mitchie. How are you doing? Good afternoon to you. Happy time zone. Oh, I'm still so sleepy. Good morning, Harry. Hi, friends. I'm sleepy. I'm a little low energy, but I wanted to stream. So it might be a quieter, possibly shorter stream today, but I'm here. And I hope that your week is off to a great start. Hey, Kelton. Hey, Elton. Happy Monday, Elton. Oh, there goes Mitchie. Will Mitchie land? Neither Keldon nor I landed yet this morning. Oh, my emote's not there. I might have another drop in me. Ah. It might have reset because I took so long with the starting soon screen. Did everybody have a nice weekend? Did anybody get up to anything fun? Oh my god, look at that. I landed. Go me. Yay me. Too short, but lovely. See, that first word, that's what we should focus on. I'm glad it was lovely for you. Elton says, I went to the brewery and got to go horseback riding. Oh, that sounds fun. I'm personally afraid of horses. Well, that sounds fun for you. I respect horses from a distance. They're beautiful, powerful creatures. Majestic, even. But I'll stay over here and you go ride the horses over there. But that sounds like it was nice. And I hope you enjoyed it, Elton. I went to my friend's play on Saturday. I got to see Bedtime Jules over the weekend for that. She came down for the show. And it was a really good play. It was called The Revlon Girl. And it was really emotional. I guess it was based on a real thing that happened where a school and the town got not flooded. It was debris from the coal mine came down the mountain during a rainstorm or something, and the sludge killed a whole bunch of people, including like 100 and something children. And it was based on the aftermath of that, but made up stories, kind of like the Titanic, where the Titanic sank, but the people we saw in the movie weren't real. And it followed this group of women, including a Revlon agent who came in to sell makeup, and their different forms of grieving. It was really good. It was my friend does plays pretty often, probably 1 or 2 a year we go see that she's in. But this was probably my favorite and probably like the best overall production I've seen her be a part of. It's really good. Harry says, my weekend was not as productive as I hoped. We did go to a memorial service for service members with my Boy Scout pack. Well, that's nice. And, sometimes we need to take things a little slower. We can't always be go, 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 get things done. Sometimes we just need to take it slow and get a little rest. The chef who drank liquor in the Titanic movie was true. I believe it. I believe that. I'm sure there were some, like, things that were real. But, like, yeah. Imagine trying to sew makeup when everyone is covered in coal sludge. So it takes place, like about 9 months after that, 8 or 9 months after the tragedy. And all the women who come to the building where the woman is selling makeup, all the women who are in attendance, they asked her to come. All the women who are in attendance lost children in it. So it was a really emotional play, and I won't say anything beyond that, because if anybody ends up getting a chance to go see it in some production somewhere, I would recommend it. It was very good. And my friend killed it. Yeah, and apparently it was based on a real thing that happened. I forget what town they said it was. Alright. Shall we Minecraft? I don't know what I'm doing. My brain's not working. Let's sleep, because it's dark. And then we'll decide. Yay, Cathadora's friend. Yes, she's really talented. I try to always go see the plays when she's in them. Like, ever since we were in high school together. I've been going to see her perform in plays and stuff. Okay, so last time we made the tunnel. Let's go over there. Across the way. This path from where the stables is now goes through this hill. And we have a little rest stop here with a bed and the ender chest and stuff. And it keeps going. It comes out here. So my house is all the way over there. I want us to have a path, like an overworld path, to get all the way to this village. This is where our end portal is, so that's how we get to the end. And I want a path to go here through this mountain and come out on the other side, so we have a path all the way to Kisser Kong's house. Now from there, I would love to have something that connects to Jules's as well, so maybe we could possibly tunnel toward her house. How far is her place from here? Hold on. Pardon me. Let's get coordinates. Let's see if we can't do a little bit of planning. So, put that to the side. Harry says, my wife graduated uni with a theater degree. I spent a lot of her senior year watching rehearsals, waiting for her. She stage managed The Tempest. Oh, fun! That's awesome. Alright, so here we are. We're at negative, let's call it negative 60, 104, 1000. Now, on the other side of this mountain is where we're going to start it. And I want to see if Jules's base falls within this tunnel at all. Like, if we branched off that way, would we hit Jules's house? So if we started the tunnel on this side... Oh, hi, Armadillo. Sorry, didn't mean to startle you there, bud. Terribly sorry. So the tunnel will probably start... Maybe we'd have to do it somewhere over here. Bring it like a path up to this point. So that's negative 213, 88. Okay, so that's good to know because this tunnel will have to elevate approximately 20 blocks. 1,006, and it'll have to move over a few. Can we start it at 1,000? If we started it at 1,000, we could start it right about here. So that's negative. Hold on. Cross that out. Cross all this out. Negative 207, 89, 1,000. It would be really nice for this tunnel to just be straight and not curved like the one that we did through the last bit of the hill. Because that was a pain to try to get the design to angle. So maybe we'll do that. We'll start at about 1,000. And then we'll just have to elevate, which will be easier. All right, let's find Jules's house. I did have her coordinates written down somewhere. I don't think that's going to be possible because we're going way past Kong's house. Is that her? That's her place. Okay. So, Jules's... we're at 205. 95, 133. That is very different. That is like diagonally from Kong's area. So they're kind of far apart. Oh, it's kind of, it's almost a straight line from this section of his base. Oh, I should probably eat something. I have 2 hearts. I'm just flying around. Yes, Keldon. Yes. The play? I knew it was somewhere over there because she was speaking in a vaguely British accent the entire play. And I'm sure they told us where it was exactly, but facts like that don't stick with me. Is that just a giant floating tree? All right, so this would almost line up with her base to an extent. So I guess we could go underground. No, I'm gonna make the tunnel to his place before I worry about connecting Jules's area. up, because that's going to be a little more difficult. His is more of like a direct, not a direct route, but like there is landmass that connects us. You know? But I don't even know if that's what I want to work on today. Part of me wants to go exploring. We could go fly around and try to find like trail ruins or something. Okay, go to bed. Something's missing. What is missing from my ender chest right now? Something's missing. Jules! Hello? I feel that emote. I feel it in my soul. And you landed. Good job. Clappies for Jules. Jules, I was just trying to figure out if we could make a path that connects your place to Kong's place to mine. And my goodness, if that isn't tough. You're still in bed? I wish I was still in bed. So I'm here. Kong's is somewhere. Over. So cross that. I guess he's somewhere over here? Or wait, cross that. Maybe these are the mountains he's near? You're sort of in a line, but you're through a bunch of mountains and stuff. Bridges might have to be made. Definitely some tunnels. I'm gonna try to connect to his base first, and then we'll go from there. But I want to go exploring. I want to see if we can find some trail ruins and stuff. I'm gonna grab a little more food. Oh, I'm really low on food. Let's go across the way. Ah! What? Why did that go off? I didn't step on it. Hello? Okay. Okay. And I should probably take some of this to the house. I guess we're swimming. There we go. Now I have a little extra food here. So yeah, let's fly. Let's see what we can find. I want trail ruins. And let's look up the biomes where we find trail ruins. Nope, not that one. Generation. Where? Where? Oh, there it is. Taiga, snowy taiga, old growth spruce taiga, old growth pine taiga, old growth birch forest, and the jungle. So there could be one in the jungle. What's that right there? Is that just a tree? That's just a tree. So jungle, taiga, and old growth birch, which is the really tall birch trees. And we're basically scanning to see if we can find any sort of terracotta poking out of the ground. I don't think the bamboo ones count. Alright, that's dark oak. That's not going to help us right now. Oh. Oh. Can I? This game's really acting weird right now. I just want to get rid of these leaves. Because why are you here? You don't belong here. You're just floating in the sky, high above the trees. There's nothing here. And I don't even think this was affected by the, when we reset some of the chunks. Okay. All right, I don't see any sort of terracotta, but let's take a little walk around just in case. Sometimes it's not so obvious, especially in these dense jungles. Doop-a-doo, doop-a-doo. Oh, panda bear. Hi, panda. Hello, panda. And a burb. Many burbs, many ocelots. This is a pretty big jungle. Alright, I think we keep flying. Let's go this way. There's some regular birch. It could be an old growth birch. So if we see some really tall birch trees, could be there. But also here's more jungle. And more leaves. This must be right around where we ended up trimming the world. These make sense as being weird. I can't reach those. That is a very tall jungle tree. Okay, just keep looking. Well, that's interesting. Very floaty pyramid. Have we checked out the Villager Tower? No one here? Guess so. Has everybody got all their holiday shopping and stuff taken care of? I have a little bit more shopping to do. Just a couple gift cards at this point. But I haven't started on the wrapping portion. Ooh, big cave. Ooh. I love the lush caves. Look at this. How pretty is this? Except, I'm about to, it's really dark. That's probably not a good place to land right now. You have to do that, the shopping and the wrapping. Ooh, this is interesting. And it's a coral reef. That's cool. It's all contained in this. That's pretty cool. Have I been over here? This is the one up on the hill. Yes, I've been over here. With the mountains in the distance. I'm just gonna use your bed real quick. Nope, sorry, I need that. Thank you. There you go. Yeah, I've been over here, but I don't think I realized that that was a coral reef. Because I like this shot. I was trying to get a shot of this at sunset specifically with the sun behind it. But as you're coming in through here, all the mountains in the background. I don't know, I thought it was really cool. I love flying around Minecraft and just appreciating the different landscapes and stuff that generate. Like, I genuinely think this is a very pretty game. More coral reef. Is it just red sand and terracotta as far as the eye can see? Or is there going to be some other trees or stuff ahead? Alright, here's more jungle. That could be something. Alright, we're just looking for terracotta sticking out of the ground. Oh, mangrove. Lots of mangrove. A beached ship. Is this a little bit of old growth birch. They seem tall. This must be old growth. I didn't see any flecks of terracotta though, so probably not. Probably not finding it here. It's not a huge section of the biome anyway. That might be more across the way. Oh yeah, this is all very tall. For birch trees anyway. What? Why would that have hurt? I think the game is like confused about where my character actually is. Like, how did I set off the pressure plate earlier when I wasn't even on top of it? Alright, now we're just back into regular forest. Ooh, flowers. Alright, there's some taiga. But it's all on mountains. I don't know if it can spawn on mountains. Snowy taiga specifically, not regular taiga. You'd think that the terracotta would be very obvious there. Oh. Oh. Jules. Is this kind of what you were looking for? Like this? With the mountains around something? This isn't even that far from home. Here, I'll screenshot the coordinates for you. Cause like, this isn't even far from home. We're not even 2,000 blocks out. But that's mountains. Little circle of them, or even over here. Oh, you did see this one? Fair. I'm like, wait, we're not even far from home. She's probably come across this one already. Was that terracotta? Or is that pumpkins? Oh, yes! We found it! We found one! We found a trail ruin. This is a trail ruin, everybody. There's terracotta. There's gonna be either... It's suspicious gravel, I believe, in these. Because I think it's suspicious sand in the ocean. And in the pyramids and stuff. So, we're gonna dig, but I'm gonna take a little peek at ya. Put away my shield. And where's my brush? I need my brush. Let's take out the ender chest. Oh, that's not. I can't see what I'm doing. Ah! This one. Brush. There we go. Oh wait, where's my brush? It's not in my hand. Where is it? There it is. And I probably should have taken out my bed too, considering it's dark. It is dark. Come on, it's dark. It's nighttime right now. I think that was supposed to be precious, Keldon, not previous. Okay. So... there's some. Let's see what we get. An emerald. That I didn't really need, but okay. There's some. Ooh, something good maybe? Ooh, armor trim. I don't know if we have this one. I don't know which ones we have at home, so that's fun. Ooh, is it drop time? Let's drop. Let's drop the bundle, because I love bundles. I don't think there's any gravel there. No. So we're breaking the ones that aren't suspicious so that we can access the ones that are. And dirt just isn't, like, it does not come in suspicious form. That's one. Oh, and it's a sherd. Which one is it? Oh, it's the heart one. I don't think I have this one. Cute. All right, I'm gonna put down a shulker to start putting all the dirt and stuff into. And we'll put down a second shulker for the stuff that I want. Like the stuff we're excited to find. Like the sherds and the armor trims. So, random stuff. Emeralds are fine, but I'm not super excited about it. And I'll probably need more... torches. I learned over the weekend that if you use the brush to break blocks like this, it doesn't use durability. It's only when you're using it as the brush that it does. Darker over here. Put down a torch. Oh no. We gotta be careful because sometimes you can, if you drop a block, if gravity drops suspicious sand or suspicious gravel, it can break. Or it will break whatever's inside of it. It'll turn it back into regular sand. And you won't get to find what's inside. And each of the blocks is assigned an item, like it doesn't change. Whatever's in that block stays the same. So it could be something useful, like a sherd we don't have. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of the sherds that we haven't found from the trail ruins yet. I just broke one that, see? Did you hear that crashing? Yep, that was something I should have used the brush on. Oops. Oops. My bad. This is one. Sometimes it's not so obvious to me. That's a bummer. That's one. Candle? Probably a candle, it looks like. That's suspicious. What is that? Oh, a hanging sign. That's some suspicious gravel. What do we got this time? Is it another sherd? Oh, it's a pane of glass. A random pane of colored glass. I think both of these are suspicious. What's that? Oh, it's the music disc. We already have one of those. That's fine, though. I was passing out the ones I have duplicates of to Kong and Jules if you want them. Got plenty.
Don't be suspicious. 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 Don't be suspicious.
Yes. But we want it to be suspicious. We do want the suspicious Scrabble. So it's more like, please be suspicious. Please be suspicious. We want suspicious.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Hey, Mario. Howdy, howdy, howdy to you too. How are you? How is your Monday going? And we have a queued drop game. Thank you, Keldon, for redeeming the queued drop. Q-U-E-U-E-D-R-O-P. Q's are dropped for this game, folks. Get your drops in, get your drops in. I'm gonna do Little Mulder. Slept like 13 hours, wow. Guess you must have needed that. I am like slouching like crazy. Posture check. Little stretchy stretch. Oh, I can't do this one. My headphones are in the way. All right, let's set a timer for 5 minutes and then we'll do the drop. Set timer 5 minutes, please. Thank you. Okay, I'm out of bed, but I'm not happy about it. I don't blame you. Are you working today or is it a day off for you? Pretty much a free day. Nice, nice, nice. I fell asleep right after Tripwire started streaming yesterday. Oh yeah, she was part of a raid train yesterday. I was there for that. Accidentally turned off your alarm. Hey Hunter, good morning to you too. How are you? We got a queued drop going, so if anyone would like to get an emote in the drop. It's a regular one, yeah. Oh, they're suspicious. Okay, what do we got? Oh, it's a sherd. I think it's a sherd. Which one? Which one? Oh, is it the howling one? The wolf? Yeah. You're in the drop. Excellent. We're gonna let it go a few more minutes. So if anybody else wanders in or whatever, they can get drops in as well. If you're not familiar with the drop game and you're listening right now, all you have to do is !point drop along with an emote and the computer will do the rest. We'll start the drop and all of our little emotes will descend from the skies together. We'll see who hits the target. If anyone hits the target. It's not guaranteed. We have failed many a drop together at this point. They're suspicious. What are you? What are you? Cole? Oh, it's a lead. Alright, we'll just put that there. Now I have 7 leads on me. That's too many. We probably should clear out the inventory of that a little bit. Oh, so many. He woke up at 9-ish, very confused. Usually up by 7:30, but I was up on and off all night. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. I'm sending you and anyone else who's had kind of a not so fantastic start to their day. All the love. May the rest of your day be easier. And even if your day did start out good, I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your Monday. Hey, we got a couple suspicious gravel here. Okay, so that's... Is it concrete powder? Clay. Oh, okay. Like, I don't know if you can find concrete powder here. What's this one? Is this another music disc? It is. The same one we already have. I wonder if that's the only music disc you can find in these, or if you can find other ones. I don't think I've ever come across a different music disc, but you assume if they have one music disc that they had more than one, right? Oh, that's suspicious. Is this another hanging sign? Looks like it. That's not bad. Hanging signs are kind of a pain to make. So you have to use stripped logs and chains. That's our timer, folks. Has everybody got their drops in? Anybody else want to get in on this queued drop before we start it? Faust is here. Hello, Faust. It's going. It seems most of us are tired or didn't sleep too great, but some of us are doing pretty well so far. I'm a little sleepy today, but I'm here. I'm here. I hope you're doing well. I see you got an emote in the drop, so we're gonna get that going in a few seconds. Last call, get your drops in, exclamation point drop. You can add your favorite emote to the end, and then we'll all descend from the sky and aim for that snow pile right there. Okay, we have our eyes on the target. We know where we're going. Yesterday I went to a place named Cayela city in Guatemala because there was going to be a Christmas gigantic balloon festival. Ooh, that sounds nice. If you want to, Hunter, feel free to share some pictures in the Discord. We'd love to see. That sounds really cool. Okay, Mario's in the drop. Here we go. We're starting the drop. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. We're dropping now. There we go. Let's see what happens. We're bouncing around. Let's see. Oh, we're bumping into each other. Let's see. Can Keldon get pushed? We might. Maybe we can all make it. All right, Mitchie and Jules. Oh, no. I think you're going to overshoot it. Oh, no. Ah. Keldon got bumped back in. It looks like maybe we had a couple on that far end. Let's see what the game says in chat. Keldon landed. Was it just Keldon? I thought for sure someone else caught the edge of that pile. All right, clappies for Keldon. Clappies for Keldon. Good job. Good job. I slept for 2 hours, then spent another 2 hours trying to sleep some more before giving up. Oh, I'm tired, not as an adjective, but as a personification of the concept of tiredness itself. Oh, Faust. Oh, I'm sorry, bud. Butt in the snow! Something was in the cosmos last night. I believe it. Ugh, no amount of coffee. And it's just kind of cold now. I know it's not cold everywhere, but it's cold here. And gray. It's so gray outside, so cloudy today. Something, something full moon. Honestly, that full moon, man. But I hope y'all got a nice warm beverage of your choice. And hopefully you're staying hydrated. Shall we all take a big old sip of water together? I took my vitamins this morning. Or cold beverage, that too. For those of you who can tolerate cold beverages when it's cold outside. The beverage of your choice, hopefully one of them is water. Stay hydrated, folks. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, especially around the holidays and stuff. It can take a toll on you. It's a busy time of year. It can be stressful for some people. So, sending you all some love, and I hope that you're taking time to care for yourself as well as others. What is this about drones now? Why is my town Facebook page filled with people? I saw a drone last night. Why is this a thing? Hunter says, finally a sunny day in my country. Very good. I'm glad somebody's got some sun right now. Because it's not here. It's so cloudy. So cloudy. I don't know what that is, Faust. Jewel must? What is it? I want to know more. Hashtag not an ad. Possibly, Keldon. People... The town Facebook pages are a joke now. It used to be you'd actually get information about what's going on in the town. Events that were coming up. It's just people trying to be funny now. And spoiler alert, they're not funny. Alright, so that's regular gravel. Sand, some dirt, I mean. Oh. That anything? There's some. Is that a red pane of glass? I do have a bundle full of random panes of glass back at home. It's a fizzy drink associated with Christmas around here. Jule means Christmas, or Yule if you prefer. Oh, very cool. So is it something that you make or something that you buy, or both? Do some people make it? Like, some people make eggnog. I don't make eggnog. I buy eggnog. I want us to have eggnog. We don't have any in the house, and it would be so good in my coffee. Anybody else do that? Put eggnog in their coffee? I'm sure some people do. Jules gets it. Eggnog. I love eggnog. I know not everybody does. Some people think it's gross, and that's their prerogative. But I love it. So creamy and delicious, and it's great as a substitute in your coffee instead of like cream or milk or something. Just that little bit of spice, that nutmeg. Ah, yes, it can be boozy too. I don't drink boozy eggnog. I don't really drink. I'm not completely opposed to drinking, but I very rarely consume alcohol. I just like regular old eggnog. That sweet, sweet eggnog. I haven't heard about eggs in coffee. No, not eggs. Eggnog, which is technically made from eggs. But it's not like you're floating an egg in your coffee. it's a drink. A lot of producers make their own small or large brewers, but I haven't heard of anyone making it at home. Ah. Is it alcoholic or is it just a fizzy beverage? I feel like a lot of fizzy things end up being alcoholic nowadays. It can be, but this one isn't. Ah, gotcha. Kind of like eggnog can be, but it's not always. Joke's on me, I misunderstood it. No worries, Mario. No fighting in chat. None of that. Nah, things are being civil, I think. Is that one? Is this one? No. Have I got the hiccups again? I've had the hiccups on and off, like, for the past couple weeks. Am I just, like, not breathing? What's going on here? Why is my body like, we're gonna make weird noises? What is going on? Y'all being silly. Weird squid. I love it. I love it, Hunter. Add in 2 minutes, folks. Shout out to Jules for being on top of that, because I don't even notice when those pop-ups come up anymore. But we have an incoming ad in about 2 minutes. I'll probably take a little break, go refresh my water bottle, use the restroom, get a little stretch in. So no worries if you're not subscribed. You won't miss anything. We're just going to run some ads so that there's no pre-rolls, so that any new friends coming in aren't struck with ads immediately and scared away. Because I don't know about you, but pre-rolls are annoying, in my opinion. Oh, we got another one. One more to check out before we go. Is this? Oh, it's another armor trim. Which one's this? Oh, my inventory's full. Let's get rid of that. This one is host. And I haven't been picking stuff up, it seems. We've got to find our way back to our things. How do we get out of here? Is this the way out? That's the way out. Okay. Let's see if we can't build a little staircase. Hit my head. Can't go that way? Okay, go this way. Can't go that way. Nope, that's not right. Ow. There we go. Alright, let's put some stuff away. These are the new things. And this is where we put all the blocks and all the other random stuff. Actually, maybe we should put all the random things in here. blocks, stuff. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna stick myself back in the hole. And we're going on break. I'll be back in just a few minutes. Nope, not that button. Not that button. That button. BRB, feel free to play dropped in the meantime. Okay, we're back. Oh, Hunter landed. Clappies for Hunter. Very, very nice. Oh, I'm kind of chilly. But I don't want to push the heat up anymore. Come on, game, you can do it. Here we are. Okay, back to digging. This is suspicious. What are you? Another candle. Oh, a little gold nugget. Not a candle. Sounds like we might have the wandering trader outside. Guy follows me everywhere.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Thank you, Mario. Oh, if I hear zombies. Baby zombies at that. I don't think they can get us down here, though. And if they do, I will hit them with my sword. Waha. Jove's here. Hi, Jove. Let's see if Jove lands. Come on, Jove. Get in that snow pile. Aww. Next time, Jove. How are you doing, bud? How was your weekend? I hope that your Monday is off to a good beginning. I've been calling people bud a lot lately. I hope no one minds. I don't know what's going on with that. That's like my friendly name of choice lately. Like, how you doing, bud? How's it going? Quiet Monday so far. I love that for you, actually. I hope that your whole week is nice and easy. It's that time of year. We should all be taking it kind of slow, kind of easy. But I know not everybody gets to. Oh, you know what I should do? I should put I should put scaffolding. I have scaffolding in my ender chest. 3 days of work this week, and then I'm off until January. Oh, yes. Love that. I love that for you. Do you have anything fun planned, or are you just gonna take it easy? Either is totally acceptable, of course. Just curious, just making conversation. Oh, we found another one. What's this? Wheat? Seeds. Beetroot seeds. Okay. That's fine. We don't need those, but that's fine. Both both of these are normal. Oh, you already dropped. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to tell, especially when there's a bunch of emotes on screen. Alright, so I think that's this whole area. I'll get rid of that one just in case. Oh! Nope, none there. Could have been one, though. Could have been. There's one. Wheat? No, dead bush. Dead bush? Dead bush! I actually like the dead bushes. I'm not even mad about that. It's kind of dark over here. I need to investigate getting some bathroom repair / renovation going. That's probably the first priority. That's a priority. That is a thing. Good luck with that. I hope that it's simple and inexpensive. Though I imagine it will not be. That sort of stuff ain't cheap. Suspicious? Are you? Or that's just weird light? That's just weird light. Alright, all of this looks to be normal gravel. None of this I don't think is suspicious. Alright, back to breaking blocks. Maybe behind this there will be. Very nice landing, Matt. How are you? How's it going? Daisy has pulled off all the blankets off the bed and made a nest on the floor. Smart dog. Smart dog. Maybe I'll even update my streaming setup and do some streaming. Oh, 2-year stream anniversary. I think you should do that. And on that note, is everybody following Jove? Go follow Jove. Everyone go follow Jove. Convince him that he should stream again. It'll depend on how much I want to have done. Bare minimum is repair the shower wall behind some broken tiles, convert the tub into a walk-in shower. That's a pretty big project. But if you're going to tear up the bathroom, why not make it everything you want it to be, right? Going okay, just been in side-by-side meetings, so glad that's over. All done with meetings for the day then? Is it time to kind of relax? Is that suspicious? No. Here, start up here. looks like none of this suspicious gravel. We haven't gotten one in a bit. I know it's random. There's just a chance of the gravel being that. But come on. Where are you at? Where's all my goodies at? Not behind any of this, apparently. Nope. None of that. That's all just random stuff. There was definitely... This I didn't start digging into. I should have, just in case there's more to it. There is more to it behind there. How do I get over there? We can just break these blocks, I guess. Break a little bit of this. Still got work to do. Bleh. Is the chat overlay on your screen new, or have I just been completely oblivious to all this time? Nope, that's new. That is a new recent thing that I had here. I just thought it would be useful because I started uploading my VODs to YouTube. And I'm talking to you guys, and if somebody goes back and watches the VODs, then they're not going to know, like, what I'm responding to. So I thought it would be helpful to have some context. That's only been up maybe a little over a week now I did that. And I thought that way of it, like, popping in and then disappearing after... I think it's up for 10 or 12 seconds. Probably long enough to read it before it disappears. Figured I could always adjust it as needed, but it seemed like a decent amount of time for the average rate of chat here. We've got another queue drop game, folks. Thank you, Hunter, for redeeming that. The queue drop is open if you would like to put your drops in. Set timer, 5 minutes, please. Thank you. All right, what do I want to drop? Oh, wait, hold on. Let me finish reading here. Basically, they just sit watching me do work. I haven't noticed it before. Oh, the chat on screen. Fast says, I have been a fool. I've been agonizing about never being able to get a reasonable shade of yellow whenever I do any type of art on the computer. It just hit me after 6 months of doing this that I have a night light filter turned on constantly to reduce eye strain. Oh my god. Well, at least you realized it now. Oh dear. But yeah, get your drops in. If you're watching on a VOD, you can always go back and rewind if you missed something. That's true. That's true. I figured the 10 or 12 seconds was a good amount, especially because most messages are pretty short. What do I want to drop this time? Let's do this. Wishful thinking. Wishful thinking that I will land in the snow pile. Jove with Carrie Ann's emote. Got another couple minutes if anyone else would like to. Alright, what's this gonna be? Emerald? Coal. Coal. Oop, that's one. Blue pane of glass. So much glass. So much random glass. Alright, let's keep digging down as we go here. There's one. What's that? Purple candle. Sometimes you can see what it is, and other times the way the light's coming at it, you can't. It's like a shadow, and you're like, what is that? weird. What is that? Oh, it's a very common thing I've seen a million times before. I need to try to sit up straighter. And stop sitting on my feet. It's so comfortable to sit on my feet, but it's so bad for me. Things that make your heart sink when you're manning the work phones. Can I just briefly tell you what the issue is? It's never briefly. Aww. Oh dear. Matt says, I'm on to chapter 4 of Life is Strange. I object to the ending of chapter 3 greatly, especially as you can't change the outcome. It's been a while since I've played Life is Strange, so I know like the general idea of what happens, but it's been a while since I know the specifics. But I appreciate you keeping it spoiler free because I think I'm gonna replay Life is Strange. That might be a thing for after the holidays. Maybe we'll take a little break from Minecraft, or maybe we'll do like a couple days of Minecraft, a couple days of Life is Strange. Because I definitely want to do Before the Storm, and Jules mentioned that the new one's out. So I'll want to do that. But I feel like maybe we should just go through the whole series again since it's been so long. Any thoughts on that? Or all of you here specifically for the Minecraft, and you'll leave if I'm not playing that. Which, if that's the case, I totally understand that. You can't expect everybody to always like all the content. Yeah, do you want to see me cry? We're gonna have a Jules cam, just her reaction to the stories, to the story of the game. Quick question. Sure, the question is quick, but it takes me days to figure out the answer. Really easy to ask the question, though, right, Jove? All right, guys, that's our timer for the Q drop. That is very true, Jules. Will I ever get back to No Man's Sky? Who knows? Who knows? Never say never. Oh, the timer just went off and I'm getting distracted. All right, last call for drops. Last call for the drops. Did I get one in? I have one in. Anybody else? Let's see. Let's go through the list here. We got Matt. We've got Hunter, we got Mario, Keldon, Faust, Jove, me. Jules, are you in the drop? There you are. I see you in there now. Anybody else want to get in on the queued drop? We're going to start it in about 10 seconds, okay? We're dropping in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. We're dropping. Look at us go. What's gonna happen this time, folks? Will any of us land? Will all of us land? Will none of us land? Oh God, we're all in the corner. What are we doing? Jules is heading straight for the snow pile there. Come on, Jules, get in there. Get in there. 1, 2, 3. We've got 3 people in the snow pile. Good job. Good job. Jules landed. Keldon landed. And our winner this round, Matthew KR. Clappies, clappies, clappies. Wait. We can do a little on-screen thing. Wait a second. Do. And we'll do, yay! Yay! That only shows up on the Twitch side because that's a Twitch thing. But I can do them for free. I learned that. I can do them for free. I can also do this. Giant clappies. Those are things you can do for bits in people's channels, but since you can't spend bits in your own channel, you just get to do them for free. I learned that recently. I'm like, oh, wait, what are you doing? How are you doing that? Oh, it's free for you in your own channel. Love it. So fun. I landed on the business side of Jules' booty, but Matt covered. Jesus. A turkey sandwich. Enjoy. Enjoy, Jove. Wonder what we should do about dinner. I made a shepherd's pie the other day. I posted that in the Discord, actually. The beautiful, beautiful shepherd's pie I made prior to digging into it. And that fed us for several days. But alas, we had the last serving yesterday, and it is all gone now. So, guess I'll have to do something else for dinner. We have a kielbasa in the fridge. We could make that. I'm pretty sure Kong also bought pork chops when he went to the store. He likes breading and frying those for sandwiches. So we might have to do that because I don't know how much longer those pork chops will be good for if he hasn't frozen them yet. We'll see if he's up for cooking. I don't like doing the frying. I don't mind cooking other things sometimes, but I don't like frying things. I always burn myself. So I let him do that. I am trying to do more cooking though. Any of this suspicious? Come on, where is it all at? Is this just a gravel pile that was next to things? I don't think this is even part of anything. I think this was just a gravel deposit next to it. None of this is suspicious. This is just normal gravel. What a ripoff. Oh, there's a torch right there. Never mind. Let's put one back here. Yeah, none of this seems to be suspicious. I don't think that's part of this. When you stop having other stuff mixed in. The world. Indeed. I'm wearing that shirt today. I'm wearing my John Ralphio Howling at the Moon shirt. Hold on, we'll switch over to the webcam. It's under my hoodie. But see? Ta-da! It's John Ralphio. 3 of them. Howling at the moon. Pardon my skin. Ah? Who doesn't love a John Ralphio shirt? It goes great with that sound effect. Oh, wrong screen. There we go. I'm good at this. Mario's lurking. Enjoy your food, Mario. Hey, Val. How are you, Val? Watching everybody on Farlands do all that exploring yesterday made me want to do some exploring. So here we are. We found a trail ruin, and we're digging out. And it's another candle. How's your Monday going so far? Bit chilly out there. Hope you're staying warm. Is that coal? What is this? Oh! No! Why are those so easy to break? Dang it! Paying attention. We're paying attention. That's normal gravel. Any more thoughts on a potential festive movie night / day next Monday? I don't know if we can, unless other people are like, I'll be around Monday and would love to do something like that. I don't know if we're gonna be able to make something like that work this week. It's just very busy. Is anybody else, I don't know if anyone's seen what Matt posted in the Discord, but there's a holiday movie that he was thinking we should host a movie night for. But this time of year is just really busy for me, so I'm not going to be around this upcoming weekend. I might stream in the morning, but I have to go make like an obscene amount of Christmas cookies with my family. We're doing like a 2-day thing, Saturday and Sunday afternoon / evening. So I'm not going to be around this weekend, and I'm definitely not going to be around on Christmas Eve because I go to my aunt's house. You're a festive movie night, Andrew. Andrew, my microwaved coffee is delicious this morning, in case you were wondering. Joe! Joe! Hello, Joe. 2 years! Oh my god, 2 years! So yeah, Monday night is probably the Monday afternoon / night is probably the only day. Next Monday, not today. Next Monday, if people are around, we might do a movie night in the Discord. Movie afternoon. Matt wants to host, what was it called? The Red One? I guess it's a new holiday movie with The Rock and Chris Evans. So we might do that. Let us know if you're in the Discord and you're interested in that. Say something about it so we can gauge interest. I believe Monday that I will be around, provided nothing else comes up with my family. So Monday will probably work. But we'll see if anyone else is going to be around. Jules says I'll be around Monday. Joe, are you going to be on time today? Wait, really? Really, Val? I didn't even know that. Well, we'll probably be doing that if people are going to be around, but let us know in the Discord. There's a link. Discord's a newer thing for me personally. Not Discord as a whole, but having my own Discord is a new thing. There's a lot happening outside, apparently. So, yeah. I don't want to be on time, but I'm aiming for it, or else I'll be bullied. Joe, you better be on time today. Don't you dare start stream late. I don't know what this little jogging in place thing is. That's me running to bully you, I guess. I don't know. I'm in a weird, tired mood today. Jules. Oh my gosh. But all these lovely faces in chat. I hope your Monday's going well. Did you all have a nice weekend? I watched a lot of Minecraft this weekend, not gonna lie. I watched a lot of Minecraft streams. Last night I watched Vow stream. Did y'all know Vow streams? You should follow Vow. Vow's lovely. Narcissus is happy. That was so funny. So to give you a little context for that, Vow has a shop where he sells mob heads on the Bedrock Farland server. So he has a farm to collect them. And there was a bit of a breach in the farm, and a baby zombie picked up a skeleton head. But the head was just huge on him. It was just this little baby zombie with this huge skeleton head running around, and it was hilarious. And I was like, you need to keep him as a pet. This is now your pet. You're gonna have a whole collection of bobbleheads, essentially. And we named it Narcissus, because he had such a big head. One of the few things about Greek mythology that I remember from high school. And then I was like doubting it, so I'm like Googling Narcissus. I'm like, this is totally the right thing, right? It was. Faust likes it. Good. Thank you, Faust. Why is none of this suspicious? Where is my suspicious gravel? Where is it? Give it to me. But yeah, if y'all got up to any shenanigans this weekend or had anything fun.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
But we want it to be suspicious. That's the only thing. We want it to be suspicious, because if it's not suspicious, then there's nothing in it, and it's just regular gravel. We want the suspicious gravel. Please be suspicious. Please be suspicious. But I was telling everybody at the start of stream that Jules and I went to see our friends play over the weekend. And it was really good. And she did a wonderful job. And I enjoyed the story, as heartbreaking as it was. And then I watched a lot of Minecraft. That was my entire weekend. I watched a lot of Minecraft, and I went to the local theater. Why I'm saying it like that, I don't know. Why not? Why not say it like that? Theater. Oh yeah, we heckled the whole time. Boo! You suck! That's what we screamed at our friend in a crowded theater. Absolutely. Oh, grindstone. You know, like you heckle your friends. Glad neither of those were suspicious. All regular gravel. If I bully you, it's because I truly like you. I mean, yeah. No, you're right. Just maybe not in a setting such as that. If there wasn't a theater full of people who paid to see this show, yes.
You're my family and I love you, but you're terrible. You're all terrible.
I don't say that.
Well, that's all you say.
Yeah, you kind of do.
Unbelievable. Is that all? Oh, there's more of it. Where am I going? Let's keep digging. Where is my suspicious gravel? Give it to me. Give me the gravel. Is this just more regular gravel? I'm glad that you all seem to enjoy the sound alerts. Genuinely, that sounded sarcastic, but I mean that genuinely. I spent time picking out the sounds and assigning pictures to them. I would find the picture, and then you gotta size it to 3 very specific sizes. And I had to get rid of the background, and then some of the files, even though they were like this big, were too big. It was weird. It's very strange.
No, David.
Took a lot of work, actually. Hey, Val landed. Good job. Clappies for Val. Clappies. Clappies for Val. Wait. Hold on.
I'm a little bit. I'm a little bit. I'm a little bit. I'm a little bit of la 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 la. A little bit of Alexis.
It's funny because I put that one specifically for Jules, and I don't think she's been the one to redeem it in quite a while. Beautiful. That is gorgeous. Thank you, Jules, for that kind of pyramid thing. It's an arrow, I guess. An arrow. Oh, there goes Matt. Come on, Matt. Oh no, Matt, are you trying to set the poop on fire? Because I think that's going to cause more problems than anything. Oh dear. Oh dear. Though theoretically, I guess fire would melt the snow and wash away the poop. Theoretically. Oh, and Hunter landed right next to the fire. Hunter, you're on fire. Please be careful. Poop soup. I am a child. Clappies! Clappies for all the happy landers. Little hot there, a little fiery. I really hope we get another Animal Crossing in the semi-near future. Isn't there supposed to be another Switch or something? Like a Nintendo Switch? I swear to God, if they don't give me an Animal Crossing with that, I will riot. Animal Crossing is one of my favorite games ever. I've played it since the GameCube version, the first one. And when the last one came out, I literally put over 1,200 hours into it. It probably would have been more. I don't care about Assassin's Creed, Matt. The only AC that I care about, besides air conditioning, is Animal Crossing. He's talking about Assassin's Creed, if you're really is about that, Jules. Not Jules, Joe. I keep mixing up your names, guys. Yeah. Oh, you just got Arceus? How are you liking it, Hunter? I didn't finish that one, but I really enjoyed that when I was playing it. I have a really bad habit of not finishing games. Like, games that have, like, a definitive kind of end game. Like, a storyline to follow. I'm so bad at actually finishing games like that. Because I, like, can tell when you start to get toward the end of it. And if I'm really enjoying it, I don't want it to end. So I just stop playing it entirely. And never come back to it. I have named the white deer Elk. Oh! Loaded up Tears of the Kingdom again yesterday. Nice! How are you doing in that? Have you found all of the, all of the members of the little, the troop? No, I've never met Joe. Joe, very nice to meet you. We have a lot in common. Are you really, Jules? Do you like the Assassin's Creed games? Because I did not know this about you. Where? Is this all just regular? No, we still got cobble in the ground, so there must be more to this. Why is none of this suspicious? This is outrageous. No! Okay, nothing broke. Is that suspicious? No. Welcome back, Mario. This one looks amazing. Witchy occult theme. Oh, I didn't know that, but I can see why that might be appealing to someone such as yourself. Oh, suspicious. What is it? What is it? Please be good. Give me more. Okay, trims are fine. I think we already got this one. And my inventory is too full. Bundles, 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 bundles. We love bundles. Bundles are wonderful. Did I mention I love bundles? Have I dropped this time? I'm not sure if I dropped. Let's try dropping the bundle in case I haven't. There I go. Let's get the bundle into that snow pile. Clean up the whole mess. Just scoop everything up. No fire, no poop. Get rid of all of it. Put it right into the bundle. That's not happening though, is it? Nope. I tried. I tried. Oh, I just got confused about which way I was facing. That's up. Okay, nothing there. Nothing there. Might be a cave nearby. Those zombies feel closer than the rest have. Or wait, sometimes they spawn in the rooms, I think. Or maybe it was just a coincidence and the room was dark. I don't know. I've totally come across zombies down here before. In the trail ruins. Though I guess they could have just spawned in there, but maybe they're like a feature. That feels like it's like right here. Okay, none of this is suspicious. Oh dear. Yeah, I'll be careful. We got a shield for a reason. Oh, I hear a witch now too. I hate witches. Minecraft witches. Real life witches, you're fine. grindstone. Oh, there's got to be like a whole cave. Because I don't think I'm that close to the surface. I feel like we've been digging down pretty far. This might just be more normal gravel. They heard about your tower and got curious. We're nowhere near my tower. Imagine if a witch moved into my witch's tower, though. If we could be friends, that'd be fine. But I know that she's just gonna poison me. Emerald? It's an emerald. Fine, I'll take the emerald. Oh, that's suspicious. Block of clay. Fine. Give me the clay. Kinda dark. Doesn't that kind of look like it? It's not. Nope. Glad that wasn't. That one is. What's that? Is this another trim? No, pane of glass. Pane of glass, right? Yep, red pane of glass. You could move in. That would be more than welcome. Is this just regular gravel once again? No, that's suspicious. Gimme. What is it? It's a candle. A green candle? It's a green candle. Alright, random goodies in here. So much flint. I wish there was more uses for flint, because I have so much of it. Like, probably like 8 stacks of it at this point. And what can I do with it besides make flint and steel? And arrows. You can make arrows. But who makes arrows? You get a bajillion arrows from everything else. Is that suspicious? No. Especially with the trial chambers. Oh my god. You get you get so many arrows when you're in a trial chamber. I come home with like 6 stacks of arrows. Hi Gio, how are you? Hello, hello. We're digging out a not a trial chamber, trail ruins, because I got jealous of watching everybody else do all that exploring. So we're doing some of our own. We flew around and we found one. Iron Knight's here too. Oh, you're the one who redeemed What You Doing. Hello, Iron Knight. Hello, hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, villager trades. I'm not huge on trading with villagers. We have a few villagers, but I mainly just have them in my basement to repair stuff. But we do get some good stuff from them. But I'm not like hardcore on setting up like villager trading or anything like that. We have a small collective of villagers living in the basement of my home. And that's about it. Alright, we need to go empty out our inventory a little bit. Let's see, what's the way out of here? Was it this way? No. This way. Yes. This room. Alright, if I should probably just get some, scaffolding out of my inventory. Oh, not this one. This isn't even really where I want it to be. Boop. 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 Nothing out here, right? Hold on, let's give a little space just in case there's creepers hiding in the trees. We good? I put down a few torches for a reason. Oh, that's a wandering trader lurking in the trees. What you doing, bud? What you got? Came all this way to sell me some sand? Thanks. Thanks. No, it's fine. I can handle it. Don't need to help. Don't need your help at all. Oh, ad break in 2 minutes. You heard it, folks. Ad break incoming. I'm gonna put down a couple more torches. I hear more zombies. And I think the bird's imitating the zombies. It's not really that much space to put down torches. Ooh. Little crevasse. Alright, put down some more torches. Alright. I think that will cover us for now. Clear out our inventory a little bit. So much gravel. What am I gonna do with all this gravel? I'll pull onto the cobble. And then what am I? See, so much flint. So much flint. I have like 2 stacks of flint just from this. Not quite 2 stacks, but like close enough. I love digging out trail ruins. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I like it too. It's pretty fun. I'm glad. I like this addition and the addition of like the archaeology overall to the game. I think it adds a lot. Let's put this stuff in here for now. Boop, 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 boop. Back to making my mobile. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Good luck with that. Where are you coming from? All right, we're gonna log out. We're in an ad break in about 10 seconds, so I will be back in just a few minutes. It looks like the drop has reset, so feel free to play that in the meantime, and we'll be right back.
Don't have a crab attack.
All right, we are back. Look at this baby. Look at him. Mulder. Handsome boy. Hello. Hello. It's like, excuse me, I am trying to bathe. If you could kindly leave me alone, that would be great. But he's such a precious boy. I really need to make webcam scenes. There should really be a scene for when we're on this here. And also, I look over here to look at chat. You guys are over there. Hi. What a distinguished gentleman. Indeed, isn't he? Isn't he? Look at him. He's all dressed up. All fancy in his little tuxedo. My fancy boy. I'm glad you appreciate that he is a distinguished gentleman. What else did I miss? Did anybody land? Let's see, let's see. It looks like Faust landed. Someone else land? And Jules landed on the edge there. Clappies, clappies. Good job, friends. That's a pretty good drop there, Faust. Hope I didn't miss anything else. It looks like just the two of those in the snow pile. Are we all staying hydrated? Has everybody been drinking their beverages? Very important. Very important to hydrate. That water is like extra cold, my god. Creepers were born from a coding bug. Thanks, creepers. Ghost energy. What is that? Is that an energy drink? I kind of want to grab scaffolding. Let's put scaffolding in there instead of what we've been doing. That's probably enough. Put that away. Is this where I put the... Alright, and then we can get out if we hop up here. There, okay. That's a path out. Sour Patch Kids energy drink. Interesting. I don't know if that's necessarily hydrating, but maybe. Wait, what? What are you saying? Potential anarchist. Clearly you don't know enough about me, Faust. Oh, I'm here from Big Village LLC. We heard some rumors about potential villagers crowding in a small space for extended periods of time. You understand what that kind of environment does, right? It encourages discourse and could even lead to unionizing. So we're here to quash any seditious behavior. This is actually a meeting of the anarchists, didn't you know? We're here to disrupt the status quo and take down big corporate. To dismantle capitalism from the ground up. If you're looking for the everything is fine and I don't want to change anything group, 3 doors down. Not the band, like several doors down from here.
Yeah. Okie dokie.
Not the band. No, I don't think the band would help at all with that. What do we get? Oh, it's the heartbreak one. Okay, we either didn't have the heartbreak or we didn't have the regular heart, but now we have both. I got the regular heart upstairs too. That's nice. I do like that. I love the pottery sherds. I feel like you could never have enough of them. Is this a cave sound? Did you hear that? That was gross. I did not like that. Ugh. Some of the cave sounds make me want to turn off cave sounds entirely. Sounded like my stomach. Honestly, mine too. I haven't eaten anything yet today. That's a lie. I ate like a quarter of a graham cracker during the last break. I want to get a box of Teddy Grahams. We never had those growing up, and I was always like, those look so good. I love graham crackers. Can we get the Teddy Grahams? We never had Teddy Grahams. Gosh darn it. I want some Teddy Grahams. I'm gonna make my mom buy me some when we go shopping. Because my mom insists on giving us all gift bags as part of Christmas presents. And in the bag, she usually puts little like odds and ends. Sometimes she'll put like a little candle and a new pair of gloves and like a nail file, stuff like that. And snacks. It's basically a replacement for the fact that we don't get stockings anymore. And stocking snacks, yes. All the snacks. I'll be like, Mom, I want Teddy Grahams in my gift bag this year. It'll go really nicely with the Minecraft plush I asked you for and the Minecraft throw blanket that I also asked you for. Oh, I also asked for a stream deck, specifically the one that has the little knobs, because I can use that for streaming, but I can also use it for photo editing. So, provided I'm not on the naughty list this year, I think I'm getting a stream deck. And then I'll have buttons to press. It's gonna be great. It'll probably take me a year to set it up, but it's gonna be great. Why am I breaking this with my steak? I hear more zombies. And it's a sherd. Which one is it this time? This one is... which one? Oh, the burn. Burn and the heartbreak. There we go. All right, Matt. Dunkaroos are amazing. Oh my god. Yes, Val, you are 100% right. Dunkaroos. Yes. Yes. 1,000 times yes. Oh, I almost broke that one instead of using the brush, but it's just a pane of yellow glass. That's fine. Wouldn't have been the end of the world, but I wouldn't have known if it was the end of the world, you know? Oh, and another one. And this one's a purple pane of glass. Or, yeah, purple. Steak pickaxe. It, like, broke that up into 2 different lines, and I'm like, teak, like the wood pickaxe? I didn't see the S initially. Breaking gravel with a stake? Well done. It must be well done. You wouldn't be able to do that with a rare one. What are you? Blue dye. It's a sherd. Which one? Which one? Another heartbreak one. I think that's all we didn't have any of. Ooh, is this one? What is seeds? Silly. Going through a lot of torches. Oh, there's one right there. And one right there. We don't need to put that one down. That's why I go through so many torches. Because I put down way too many of them. Red gravel. From all of the meaty bits. Why are we telling Val to grow up? Because of the Dunkaroos? No, absolutely not. Dunkaroos are for everyone. Dunkaroos are not just for kids. You know what? I think the world would be a better place if more adults ate Dunkaroos. And remembered what joy is. Ooh, thunderstorm. It's loud. For all future, totally not an anarchy meeting, we must have Dunkaroos. Who wants to cover snacks for the next meetup? And you don't have to, Val. I won't make you. So what's Dunkaroo? So a Dunkaroo... Oh, hold on. There's something in here. Seeds. Heh. Dunkaroos are a snack that come in little packets. And in one side of the packet, you have like a big rectangle full of these little cookie cracker things. And then there's a little tub of frosting with them. And they used to have like different flavors and stuff. The main one was like a white frosting with little confetti flecks in it. And then there was like a chocolate version as well. So kind of like, have you ever seen the like the cheese and cracker sticks that you dip in the cheese on the other side of the little snack pack thing? It's like that, but it's little cookie kind of pieces and frosting. So, you know, super healthy. And totally not loaded with sugar. They're very tasty. And they're like one of those top tier kind of snacks that you'd get in your lunchbox. Favorite snack. If you got Dunkaroos in your lunchbox, you knew somebody loved you. Alright, nothing there. What even is this room? Okay, that's all granite. Dirt. 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 Is that one? Ah, let me through. Nope, that's regular. Alright, cleared out in here. We cleared out this room. Don't think there's more to it. Maybe let's chip away some of this just in case. Maybe there's another room here. Nope. Does this go any further? Nope. I'm still pretty sure this is all just regular gravel. You know what snacks are. Grown-up Dunkaroos, I'd be all over that. Do you not have lunch boxes, Klaus? Is that not a thing where you are? Why would a kid have a lunchbox and why would there be snacks in it? To bring to school, to eat. You'd usually have some sort of a snack time, a break. And then whatever you're gonna have for lunch would be in there. And usually there's snackies that accompany those. Is any of this suspicious? No.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
But I want it to be suspicious. The suspicious sand is what has all the goodies in it. Is there like, is this... Oh, you know what? Maybe this is regular gravel. Not regular gravel, part of the thing. Or maybe not. I thought maybe this connected to the terracotta that I was just looking at, but none of this seems to be suspicious, and unless there's terracotta right here, which there does not appear to be, I may have been wrong. So where's this? There's something there. Is that just regular gravel? Oh, Hunter landed and Mario landed. Look at that. 2 landings. Very nice. Clappies, clappies, clappies. Is it my turn to drop again? Drop. Which one? Egg. Let's drop egg. Come on, egg. You can do it, egg. Come on, Val. You can do it, Val. Oh, I missed. Oh? Oh, I thought you had it. Little too far. I was under the impression American schools had cafeterias that served lunch. So they do. They do have cafeterias, and they usually do serve lunch, but some kids bring their own lunch. Yeah. So there's usually both options depending on the school. My school, we have microwaves to heat our food. Oh, really? I don't think we had microwaves. Not for students to use. Do you have break rooms if you don't like the cafeteria food to heat your own food? I don't think we had any way of reheating food at school. It would have to be something that was kept hot or not meant to be served hot. American public school cafeteria food is not notoriously nutritious. Very true. Also true of Val saying lunch here isn't free or healthy. So some parents and guardians opt to send their kids to school with a lunchbox packed with food. That's one thing we really need to improve on around here. One of the many things that we need to improve upon. Healthier food and making it accessible. I honestly believe that school lunch should be free for all children, regardless of income status. If they got free breakfast and lunch, I think that kids would be learning a lot more and not so focused on how hungry their tummies are. Reduced lunch tickets. Some of us were poor. Feel that, Kelvin. The standard for me was a bologna and cheese sandwich, something crunchy like goldfish or Teddy Grahams or Dunkaroos, a Capri Sun, and some fruit. I didn't eat healthy lunches. I was a very, very, very picky child who would get hooked on one particular food for an extended period of time. So for a long time, my mom would make me pepperoni and cheese sandwiches. Peanut butter and jelly was a staple for a lot of it. I'd usually get some sort of fruit cup. Something sweet, of course. Some sort of, like, snack pack kind of thing. There was an extended period of time where many of you wouldn't even know what this is, but we have in Rhode Island a thing called a pizza strip. That is basically a dough and pizza sauce that is baked, and then it's cut into strips. We call them pizza strips. Some people are very offended by the fact that they're called pizza strips because they're not pizza. There's no cheese, though sometimes there's sprinkled grated cheese in there. I love pizza strips. Look them up if you don't know what they are. If you're expecting like a hot piece of pizza, no, it's served cold. They're like food for people bring them to parties and stuff a lot of the time around here. They are so tasty and I love them. And there was a long time where I would take those to school for lunch. But me being the picky child that I was, my mom would have to scrape most of the sauce off of it for me. I eat all the sauce now, but growing up I was like, ew, there's so much sauce. So she would scrape off most of the sauce and just leave a little bit on it for me. I am a menace. Oh God, Jules, there was also an extended period of time, like several years, where my packed lunch would be cinnamon sugar toast. My mom would toast bread, butter, cinnamon sugar on it. That was my lunch for a period of time too. I am a menace. I've gotten a lot better with eating. I actually eat some vegetables now, mostly just the orange ones. They have to be like really cooked. I have a lot of things with eating. I'm very picky about textures. Things like raw veggies a lot of the time I can't do because of the crunchy texture to it. So I'm trying to be better. I'm trying so hard to be better, but I have what I call a poverty palate, where most of what I like is processed and often loaded with sugar. But I'm trying to be better. Slowly expanding what I eat. I never used to eat pickles. I thought pickles were disgusting. I can tolerate pickles now in small amounts. When I tell you I need to defend myself to people when I explain this to them, the pizza strips. Val says, my son hates red sauce. He'd rather be hungry. Like, I always, like, I didn't have a problem with red sauce, but it had to be just a very small amount. Like, on pasta and stuff, I almost ate pasta dry, basically, growing up. Now I can tolerate more. Kisser Kong loves sauce. So, like, when we make pasta at home, he has to kind of restrain himself to not put too much sauce on it ahead of time. I'm like, just leave it on the side so I can put my own amount. I like the sauce, but I don't like it to be drowning in it. Kids can be picky, and so can I, Mario. If the Western Europeans can eat fairy bread, you can eat that. Yeah, Jules, you are very not picky. Kong's pretty good, too. There's just so many things that I don't eat. And I'm trying to be better. Like, it's kind of a shame that I live here where we have so much access to seafood and I do not eat seafood. The only kind of fish I eat, I like fish and chips, like white fish breaded and fried, and then I drown it in ketchup and vinegar because I love ketchup and vinegar. Or fish sticks, which I don't think should count as fish, but they're technically fish. I love fish sticks. All crispy, and then again, tons of ketchup. If I can put ketchup on it, I'll probably like it. And even some of the things that I'm not supposed to put ketchup on, or putting ketchup on it. So that's a little glimpse into Cathadora's diet. It's not healthy, to the surprise of no one. But that's fine, because you know what? Sometimes you just need to eat something. And eating something is better than eating nothing. What is this? Does it go further than this? Nope, that is cobble. What is this? No idea. Alright, there's a little bit more dirt and stuff here. Could eat seafood for the rest of my life. I wish I liked seafood. We have so much access to it here. And I've tried things over the years, but the only fish I've been able to eat is like just like a very bland white fish. I'll probably give more of it a try again eventually. Alright, nothing there. This one's all dug out. Except for that. What's that? Anything up here? This is just a little bit of dirt. Doesn't seem to be anything there. This all seems to be dug out. To be fair, seafood is easy to cook badly. It matters of seconds to overcook it. Yeah. And I wasn't like forced to eat fish growing up. Like my mom also doesn't really like fish. I don't think she eats fish at all. The world. Oh no, I don't want to break that. Put that back. It's a fun sound to break it. Oh, guess we're taking some coal. I started breaking into this. I thought I was using Silk Touch, but I'm not, so we're just gonna get a ton of coal. Why not? I'll condense it into blocks. Oh, there's my torch. That might be the end of this trail ruin. I think we've gone through all this. Yeah. Pretty sure we're done here. I'm just gonna leave this scaffolding. I have too much scaffolding at home. Is it dark out? Yes, it is. Can we sleep in our bed before anything kills us? Oh, look, a panda. Nothing around here? Just checking. Just checking. Things are dying. No! Why are you not dead yet? My god, I felt like that zombie was burning forever. Okay. I don't think there's anything else around that can hurt us. That was a pretty good one. Pretty sizable. Let's take a look at what we got out of it. We got 4 different kinds of sherds. We've got some dye. Oh, we got 3 different, 3 different trims. Some clay, some candles. Random seeds, random glass. Pretty sure the rotten flesh didn't come from there. I think that came from killing a monster, probably. Most likely. Was there anything else? Was that everything? Then we got a whole bunch of blocks, obviously. A bunch of coarse dirt. I picked up a mud brick, apparently. Maybe we'll just leave those here. Yeah. Anything else? We got some stone. Put the clay here. Can we fit those? Okay. And a bunch of coal. Alright. Not a bad haul. I'm glad about the sherds. I think we might have all of the different sherds from the trail ruins now. And we're not even very far from home. I feel like I might be very close to Jules' house, actually. Can we fly? Hello? Fly? Fly. Fly? I have my wings on. Hello? There we go. Oh, we're right by Kong's house. Sorry, Kong. I took your trail ruin. Shows how much exploring he does. I'm like, this is within the range of stuff we did not purge. I'm also dying to know what this man plans to do with all this sugarcane. There's so much sugarcane being grown. Maybe it was for trading, because he's also got pumpkins. His house is actually cute inside. I helped him design the staircase, I will admit that. With the trapdoors. It's got some puppers. Puppa. Oh, Puppa. Can we get some rusty wolves? We do have to go find some more wolves. That is on the list. I just don't know if I feel like moving mobs today. I would rather eat lobsters or crayfish. By no means of oysters and those who like oysters. I've never eaten caviar. I hear it's very salty. Where's the entrance? Here we go. So this staircase goes up, and then you're on the second floor of his house. And I like what he's done here with the window and all the plants. I think that's really cute. You used to be able to see out this window. I wonder if he's tried to look out his windows recently. Just completely blocked. He's got a little balcony. He's got a really nice view. I'm really jealous of the fact that he can see all the mountains from his house. And that's largely why I picked an area in Legends where I could see the mountains. Because I was like, I want to see the mountains. They're so pretty. And I think upstairs is his storage room. Storage. But it's a nice view. I was like, why is this open? That's why. I see he's eaten some of the birthday cake I left for him. Oh, hit my head. Alright, so I could go back this way. Not interested in caviar jewels. I don't think I would be either, personally, but that's me. I could have just kept flying home, but why not use the paths I've been working on? And hoof it. Oh, we gotta put a bunch more of the dirt in here. So this works actually pretty nicely. We just got a whole bunch of coarse dirt. Let's mix some coarse dirt into this path. That's what we were doing before we got killed the other day. Remember when my dad showed up and I left my game logged in and then I died to something in the game? That happened. Don't leave your game logged in, folks, especially if you're not in a safe spot. I would have been fine if I wasn't just in this open field. Oh, there's apparently an opening under that. Didn't know that. Oh, and it looks like I guess we already started filling in some of the coarse dirt here. Nope. Okay, well that was easy. Died to a spider. Yeah, I think it was a spider. I forgot what it was. Caviar isn't something I would spend money on either. First time I got it was for free because I got some bad seashells. Ooh. Oh, we got some landings. Hunter landed and Mario landed. Joe's drop. Joe, excuse me. I'm looking at the clock. And I feel like perhaps you shouldn't be in my chat right now. Let's do some clappies for our successful landers. We just got another who just landed. I saw the snow go flying. Matt landed. I'm waiting for my coffee. Leave me alone. I'm just teasing, Joe. I'm just teasing. See, the only reason I don't have an exact schedule set is because I don't want people to be like, you're late. Why aren't you streaming right now? You're supposed to be here. And I'm like, I sometimes stream, and by sometimes I mean most days at 9 a.m. Eastern-ish. Yeah, are you microwaving your coffee? It's the best way to heat up coffee, I tell you. I put a little sprinkled cinnamon in my coffee today. All right, so the path goes pretty far now. Oh, I noticed this the other day. Oh, I didn't turn the zoom on. Hold on. I didn't turn my zoom on today. Did things just die? Or was that the end of a song? Okay. When the music drops out suddenly like that, I kind of assume that it's something bad. My computer dying. But look at... Remember these sheep I dyed so that I could make the yellow tent over in the camping area over there? I was like, oh, they're all dead. I don't know where all the sheep went. There's one. There's one right there. And it keeps eating that grass block. And I'm going to leave him there. He lives there now. Another thing. So I definitely want to build something up here in this cherry blossom biome we planted by hand. This little cherry blossom area. I think it'd be really cool to have some sort of big building here. I was thinking an inn initially, but I'm kind of leaning toward making some sort of a museum thing here instead. Because once again, I was watching people play Minecraft and I'm like, I want that. I want a museum. We don't have a museum. Why don't I have a museum? So we might build some sort of a museum over here. And we'll probably have to remove this so that the path can go that way. We'll just have to move the street lamp over, I guess. Ooh, a French press. Fancy. I don't know if Andrew's still here, but I think he'd find that an acceptable way of making coffee. Let's go sleep in the witch's tower. Let's see if our friends are out in the woods. Say hello to the wolfies. Hello, wolfies. Nobody died recently, right? We're all still good? All still alive? Excellent. Let's keep it that way. Oh, the flowers are opening. I love these eye blossoms. So we come through here. Friend. Friend. Can we name them? Can we give you a name? I don't know if we can name tag you. Yeah. Friend. I was watching like everybody's Farland stream yesterday. I watched... Oh my god. We're okay. Things are fine. Oh, I'm throwing my steak on the ground. This is fine. Back to the door. We're fine. I don't know if we can name them. Mostly because I keep forgetting to get coffee filters. Really. Oh, it's just a chicken. We do have a second friend around here. All right. You want to name him Coffee Bean? Is that what we're getting at? Cause we can do that. Though, full disclosure, I don't know if he keeps the name. Because these mobs are a little weird. Also, do you want the second E on coffee? But not like that. Do you want it like that, or do you want it with just the one E? I'm gonna take another sip of water. Mr. Coffee? No, I love it. We're doing that. Mr. Coffee, yes. Mr. Coffee. I just didn't know if the absence of the second E in coffee was on purpose or not. Well, name him Mr. Coffee. And you do want it to be the to be the creaking, right? Him. Can we name you? Oh, you can't name him. Oh. It's not letting us. Can we name you? Name. Okay, we can't name him Mr. Coffee. I'm very sorry. Would you like to name something else Mr. Coffee? Or I can refund you the points. Totally your choice. I had a feeling we weren't able to name them because they're not mobs that stay in the world. They like disappear for the day and then they like spawn back in at night. So I had a feeling we weren't going to be able to name them just because they're a very strange kind of mob. But if there's something else you want to name, feel free, or I can just refund you the points for now. Jules. What are you kidding? I'm right here. I've gone nowhere. Alright, I'm gonna refund you, and then if there's something that pops up that you would like to name, you can probably redo it. Fireheart. Yes, we're gonna eventually get more rusty dogs. But probably not right now. Oh, now this name tag. Can I just rename this name tag? Can we name tag the name? Okay, what if I delete this? Does it just go back to being a name tag? Okay. Oh no. They don't stack? Where can I leave this? Random name tag. Because apparently they don't stack now. Oh, crap. I gotta put this away first. Put that back down. Put this in here. Game's hating me right now. We should probably put away our brush. Alright, take care, Mario. Thanks for stopping by. I do think we're... Yeah. Alright, let's go sleep upstairs in the bed. And I want the potion sherd to make a pot for in here. Joe Plays on Time is live. Thank you very much, Matt. I think that's our cue, actually, folks. For us to wrap things up for the day. Yeah. It's been a good one, though. Considering how tired and, like, low energy I've been today. So I'll do a little stretch. Everybody, are you sitting up straight? Move your body a little bit. Because if you're like me, you're probably not moving your body enough. Shall we, I think we'll probably go over to Joe. Let me just take a little look here and see if there's anything else that we can get into. this morning. We've raided her quite a few times over the recent weeks. I think that we're just gonna head over to Joe for some nice cozy time. I feel like quite a few of you are either already in there anyway or will be soon. So let's just take this party over to Joe Plays Violin. I assure you, she does so much more than plays violin. She also sings. She plays the piano. She plays egg, accordion, guitar, a lot of video game music if you like that sort of stuff. It's a good time. Good people, good vibes. Before we go, let's take a big old sip of water, shall we? Big old sip of water. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Okay, friends. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Tuesdays are kind of up in the air as to whether or not I will be streaming because it is Kisser Kong's day off, so we tend to spend some time together. If I do stream, it'll probably be an afternoon stream, just a little heads up. You can join us on all the socials. We have Discord, we have Instagram. I put my VODs on YouTube. I'm also on Blue Sky, all those lovely places if you'd like to join us. You can catch me there when I'm not live. And yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you to Jules for being wonderful as ever. I appreciate you. And thank you all for being here. Whether you're active in chat or you're just lurking, I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. I hope to see you all around. And let's go show some love to the one and only Joe Plays Violin. All right, take care of yourselves, friends. Bye!